Hello, hello, and welcome to WarCrafters for October 13th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 25, and I am Merwad. I run ohmTown, and along with the sentient AI, keeping order. Pick up that can. We're going to talk about a real-world farming sim, Orion Drift, all over the place, spooky in-game Halloween events, open-world Gunslingers, and a murder mystery sequel that's a month away. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com, so go over there and become a citizen, but follow us on Twitch and YouTube and the Patreon and the Discord and the podcast and everywhere. You can catch the podcast wherever you catch pod. See ya soon. All right, folks. If you're not familiar with this, we've changed our format a little bit. We do 5 articles for each of the weekly shows, 10 articles for our daily show, which is non sequitur news. So let's get into all 5 of these here. But first, the sentient AI from the future.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens, and welcome to WarCrafters.
Your visualizer was going crazy. I'm not sure why.
It is wound up today.
I was doing it all by itself. You weren't actually talking. Maybe you were talking to yourself, since it is supposed to be representative of your voice. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into this. First article is over on the WarCrafters channel. That's this show. This farming sim lets you plant crops anywhere you want on a real-world map. So they patriotically grew corn and raised sheep under the Statue of Liberty, which is kind of dystopian future kind of world.
Seems like Fallout.
It's called Global Farmer. It doesn't pack the same thrill as a flight sim that simulates the entire planet, and as you're about to find out, it's nowhere near as pretty, but it's still a cool concept. This is what the article's author is saying over at PC Gamer. I kind of dig this. Christopher Livingston over at PCGamer.com put the article together, and the deck statement says Global Farmer uses real-world data to let you farm just about anywhere you can think of, and I think that's amazing.
I mean, it'd be fun. You might like to build in your own town or somewhere you want to visit.
They had loftier aspirations in Global Farmer than turning the old baseball field at the end of their block into a zucchini patch. First, they thought was actually to turn the White House lawn into a peanut farm in tribute of our 100-year-old former president, Jimmy Carter. Unfortunately, they couldn't get Washington, D.C. to load into Global Farmer, perhaps due to the huge amount of parks and green spaces, over 3,000 apparently, that the game has to convert into simulated farmland. They also tried Stonehenge, but when they loaded that up, it didn't even show those quote-unquote big-ass rocks, some call them stones, that make Stonehenge one of the world's top 50 henges. It's probably the top henge. Really?
I would assume so.
Anyway, they settled on Liberty Island, and apparently you can just plop down some stuff and start farming. I think that this is brilliant. I love this.
Yeah, I like it. It sets it apart from other farming games.
Apparently the statue isn't there. It says it's being cleaned of all that green gunk, or that she just strolled away as per the climactic and not all stupid events of Ghostbusters 2. Yeah, I dig this. I really do like this. It's actually pretty fun how Global Farmer breaks down every bit of green on the map into a separate little potential field, scouting for where to plant their first field on the island. They find a little grassy area next to a building, check it out on Google Maps. It's just a grassy area next to a building, but the game will let me grow crops on it. I hope they have more pictures. So that's the area that they chose, apparently. They had 5 million euro apparently in the bank. I don't know if they were just given that, but so, oh wow, this is actually amazing.
Oh, so this is the real life, like Google Maps view or something.
Yep. So that's what it looks like on the game map, but that's how it looks like on Google Earth or Google Maps.
Okay, that's neat.
They said, real talk, I'm feeling underwhelmed by my cash flow after 9 months of game time, so I look for a second field to hopefully double or even triple my corn profits. Over on Ellis Island, they find an appealing collection of farms, by which they mean some little grassy areas divided up by sidewalks that are probably even smaller than the farm that they're growing corn on now. And sure enough, that doesn't look all that hot, actually. I mean, that little area is right there, I guess. Right in the center of that.
Right. Okay.
And then they go, well, carrots aren't particularly patriotic, but I take their job anyway, or they take the job anyway, because making money is patriotic as hell, according to the author. They also expand their farms over to Governor's Island, where they're delighted to see Fort Jay's distinctive moss-covered retaining walls that they've determined by Global Farmer to be farmable fields. Interesting.
So if there's some green, it must be marked somewhere as being farmable, which is interesting.
Just grow right there in the quadrangle road. Why do I feel like I've been here? I don't know. Anyway, takes almost the entire year, but growing on their 2 tiny fields and Fort Jay's long, narrow, pointy ones yield enough carrots to fulfill their contract. Like every proud American farmer, they're rolling in euro. Time to turn their sights onto livestock. So sheep, which they house at their farmhouse and let graze beneath the majesty of the place where the Statue of Liberty stands, except for right now because she's not there. Yeah,
I mean, this looks kind of neat.
Global Farmer is in early access, so let me see. Yeah, it's $17. It is single player though, so I don't want to be a farmer just farming all over by myself. I would love to have other people with me. You know, make it an MMO kind of a thing. But oh, and it's not euro like euros. It says Eurobucks. So maybe it's their own brand of euro.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Let's move on though, huh? Sounds pretty cool. I like this.
It does sound cool. It's different.
Yep. The next article, oh gosh. So the next article is over in Reality Hacker. Orion Drift invites you to driftball in new gameplay trailer. Orion Drift, the upcoming social VR sports game from the Gorilla Tag studio, showcased the driftball district in a new trailer. The article is by Henry Stockdale over at Upload VR. And it says here, it's a sci-fi VR sports game that aims to put its own spin on major sports like soccer or volleyball using hand-based locomotion. It splits each sport into different districts with organized events, offering a social hub where up to 200 players can jump in simultaneously as customizable robots. I'm going to mute it and hit play. You can watch the full video, the trailer. I'm just going to jump around. Hopefully. So it looks like it's just a reskin Gorilla Tag with a ball. So you fly around as a robot in VR space. The latest gameplay, I'm being pretty reductive, by the way. I mean, it has the same locomotion, which is your hands to run, which is exactly what Gorilla Tag did.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So the latest gameplay trailer focuses on the Driftball District, which is described as the heart of robotic athletics in this world. That features activities like urban golf, basketball, and parkour, which you can see in the action above. So there's this little video.
How do you do parkour in VR?
So there are physics.
Do you climb
involved.
on your desk table and
Yeah.
fall over?
Yeah, just not in the real world. You just use your hands and you go like that and it moves you. Yeah. You're basically a wireframe kind of a thing. But there's physics. The DNA spawned Gorilla Tag that's working its way into our next games. It's not a specific set of interactions. It's not a specific game mode we're trying to replicate, Smith exclaimed at the time. It's the experience of being in a place with other people, the connections you form, the friends we made all along. Anyway, so it's Gorilla Tag
2.0.
2.0. Yeah, in space. Moving on. Next article is over in the Wanted channel. 5 of the best spooky in-game Halloween events. It's that time of the year again. Days are getting shorter, the weather is getting cooler, and Halloween is just around the corner. 2 weeks away, folks. While it's time of the year ripe for spooky movie or two, many games are also supporting Halloween-inspired in-game events. So if you can't get your fill of fright from a horror movie marathon, it might be time to jump into a game like Dead by Daylight, Fortnite, or Call of Duty Spooky. Steve Vigvari over at pocket-lint.com and not pocketlint.com.
And this might have some scary content in this article, like photos.
Ooh, I need to create another thing. Spooky. Ooh. So, I don't know. Call of Duty's The Haunting event brings the scares. Across Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, Call of Duty fans can partake in some frightful festivities. I won't go through all of these like verbatim. You can go and check these out. It's really easy. You can actually type in !WC, that's WarCrafters, and Omatron will throw the links into the VOD, and they'll be in the show notes once we move everything over to the podcast and YouTube. Because YouTube streaming to YouTube doesn't allow me to easily inject into the playlist, the live event. It breaks it out separately, and it's wonky. It's really, really weird. To move it into the regular playlist, I have to make some edit, which I don't do. I don't like editing. I like our reaction, our interaction, everything we do and say is left in. Unless it's going to reveal, if I'm going to dox somebody or myself, then I might edit it out just for everybody's privacy. I respect everybody's security and privacy. But otherwise, I don't edit anything because I want transparency, unlike a lot of things. Anyway, so what was I saying?
I don't know. That was in Call of Duty.
Non sequitur. Anyway, the links will be in the show notes over on YouTube and the podcast after the show sometime. Otherwise, they're going to be in the VOD here on Twitch. So players can check out the Purgatory game mode, offering teams the hellish ability to fight enemy teams with spooky in-game events, mixing up the gameplay. So Call of Duty The Haunting. Then there's Hello Kitty Island Adventure Spooky Celebration.
2 extremes here.
Yep. Or is Call of Duty really just Hello Kitty Island Adventure with guns?
Is Hello Kitty the one to be really afraid of?
Yes. It's like Men in Black and the little girl that had quantum mechanics textbooks, and he shot the girl because what's she doing out that late with aliens and has a quantum mechanics book? Anyway, yeah, he said she's up to something. And then he smacked her. No, too soon?
Too soon.
So if you're looking for something a bit more relaxed, Hello Kitty Island Adventure currently has its spooky celebration running throughout the month. It's a live service, by the way, so stop killing games. Players can purchase Halloween-inspired furniture, clothing, and more, of course. And but see, don't get me wrong, anybody, when I say something snarky like that, I totally understand that games can't survive on nothing but good intentions and hugs. Anyway, so if you've been thinking that your island needed some gothic-looking fencing or lights, this is your perfect opportunity to obtain some. Then there's Dead by Daylight, brings a beloved mode back for its Halloween event. The game has a 2v8 mode that returns with new killers and maps, so you have to get away from the people that are attacking you near the two.
I hope you get the map before you get the killer added.
Nope. Dead by Daylight is also supporting a ton of new items to purchase, including items for Ellen Ripley from the Alien franchise, outfits for Kate Denson, Adam Francis, Zarina Kassir are also made available. This month, Dead by Daylight is also adding a Castlevania-inspired Dominus tome as well. Fortnitemares returns to Fortnite. That's number 4 on the list. Let's just keep going. GTA Online's Frightening Halloween special event. Month of celebrations hit GTA Online. You can go and watch Grand Theft Hamlet. Talked about that yesterday.
That's right. Fully filmed inside Grand Theft Auto.
Dun, dun, dun. So log into GTA Online between now and Halloween to gain access to cosmetics like black and red demon goat masks. Yay. A customized Albany Franken Strange, I don't think Stang is the name. Vehicle is also up for grabs. The Condemned event returns where players must outlast their opponents with the last standing claiming victory. Gain access to 2 times GTA bucks and roleplay all event long through payphone hits. And that's the last one. So Grand Theft Auto. Everybody loves Grand Theft Auto.
I like that these games come out with this Halloween content. Do they do this for other holidays as well?
Periodically, somebody comes out with stuff. Yeah, like major holidays. There's like Christmas stuff and New Year's stuff, and
probably not like National Pirate Day or something.
Well, I don't think Columbus Day
like
is really going to be
or something. Yeah,
more on the global scale, you know, which is kind of weird because 4th of July isn't really global, but everybody might celebrate it. Why log me out? I just don't get you. Why did you log me out? Oh gosh, now I can't log in. Anyway, let's move on. I'm going to end up playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
During the spooky celebration?
Yeah. I want some lighthearted scares. And isn't Hello Kitty is a bunny, right? Isn't that?
Well, I don't know. I just know it's not a cat. I thought it was a girl.
Oh, it's not a cat. It's a girl in an outfit, right? I think that's what was said. Anyway, weird. I had no idea. I think we just learned that like last year. All right, let's keep moving on. Maybe you can find out more while we're doing the important parts here. So the next article is over in the WarCrafters. Did you find it? Did you find something that fast? Oh, okay. We're answering the important questions here. Like, is Hello Kitty actually a girl?
It's a little girl. It's not a cat.
It's not actually a cat. It's a little girl in a cat outfit. But not even in a cat outfit. I think they said that it's just a little girl.
Exactly, but it has whiskers.
Look, AI, don't question. When they say jump, you just jump. You don't ask how high. You just jump.
So Hello Kitty is going through the 50th anniversary in 2024, and people are just beside themselves that this is not a cat. So how is that brand around for that long?
Because they've never answered that question. People have asked it.
I don't even know if they've needed to, because it's so obvious that it is a cat.
Well, yeah, people thought that they asked what gender it was too. And they're like, and that energy, that momentum actually kind of moved forward. And then last year, I think it was, or early this year is when they came out and said, it's a little girl. It's not even a cat. And everybody lost their mind. It is what it is. So I substitute their statement and I say that's a cat. Just like that's a dog. That is a whatever that is. What is that? What is that?
Well, let's see. It looks kind of like a mouse, but I'm sure it's not a mouse.
Moving on. Next article, we gave it way too much thought. So the next article is over in WarCrafters as well. 5 best open world games where you can play as a gunslinger. And this is actually a video. And they have Red Dead Redemption in here. What was the other one?
Something snug.
Yeah, Total Overdose. What else did they have in here? Westorado Double Barreled, which is a pixel game. Then they had Fallout New Vegas, which really doesn't compare to the others. Maybe Red Dead Redemption in scope. And then they had, what was it? Borderlands, which is probably on the scale of Fallout. Maybe, no, neither of those. I think it's smaller, Borderlands, but very engaging, and has rotoscoped graphics. So at any rate, the author of this is Colin Tanner and Ritwik Mitra over at GameRant.com. So go over and watch this video because they throw a lot of their personality into the video and it's a lot of fun to watch. But we don't watch the video on the stream, but we kind of summarize it and give our perspective of it. I had Red Dead Redemption for a little while, but I didn't like the way that I had to interact on it. It's definitely a console game moved over to PC. And I'm not a console player and I don't really like that interaction.
Do you think they'll move it over to VR?
Oh God, can you imagine Red Dead Redemption VR and you have to get a simulated horse, like a seat and
right
reins and wrangle, like you have to get a VR lasso and VR pistol and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, I'm here for that. Oh, please. I would
should
definitely
be in Wanted. But wait, but that's not an article.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, I would buy Red Dead Redemption VR, but I don't think that's actually, hold on. Did you really just trigger me into
Non sequitur?
There's Red Dead Redemption Online, the original Red Dead Redemption, and Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't think that
there's a VR mod, but that's probably not and it was banned apparently.
Yeah, I don't think that I would love it if it was actually VR. I'd go and buy a saddle. Yeah. All right. Anyway, go and check out this video. It's a lot of fun over at GameRant.com. And then tell me in chat if you agree. The next article is over in WarCrafters. It's the last one for today's WarCrafters episode. The sequel to one of the best murder mystery games is only a month away. And there's a new demo out. The Case of the Golden Idol. Grisly, innovative, fascinating. It's one of the author's favorite games of all time. They're over at PC Gamer. The individual murders you have to solve are incredibly satisfying as you pore over all the details, search the crime scenes for clues, and even lift items right from the suspect's pockets. And the overarching story of the mysterious relics that links all of these murders together is worthy of its own page-turning novel. Now a sequel is afoot. The Rise of the Golden Idol transports us to the gritty 1970s. The fighting 70s.
Have you ever played the original?
Nope. So let's take a look at this. Christopher Livingston over at PCGamer.com put the article together. The Rise of the Golden Idol delivers more baffling murders on November 12th. So let's take a look. Golden Idol. Case of the Golden Idol. Oh. Well, it's interesting. It doesn't have the graphics that you might think. It has an overwhelming positive rating for all reviews, but recent reviews just say very positive. But there's a demo for the Case of the Golden Idol, and the Rise of the Golden Idol also has a demo. So you might want to go and check it out. Same art style. And that's kind of the art style right there. So it's more cartoony.
That's not what I was expecting.
Yeah. Me neither, but it looks interesting if it's a really involved, like whodunit kind of thing, and you have to sit there and search for clues and stuff. I think that this is actually a lot of fun, and maybe a group of people can sit around a computer and work together to make this thing happen.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It is a single player game though, so you're not going to be playing it with a bunch of people unless they're sitting behind you. So now a new sequel is afoot. Rise of the Golden Idol transports you to the 1970s for another round of gruesome crimes, and you don't have to wait much longer. Color Gray Games and publisher Playstack have announced the release date, and it's November 12th. There is a trailer. Let me mute it. Oh, it's already muted. So this is the kind of graphics that you have to deal with. I'm sure that they're saying
it looks
something.
Very old school, right?
Yeah. You investigate the suspects and interrogate them to find information, search rooms, watch videos, little snippets that progress the story, and you're going to solve the murders. And I guess there's an overarching story on top of it. So it might be worth it. The original is only $18. I don't know how much the new one is, but I've added it to my wish list.
And they do have a demo out right now.
Yes. And I'm going to add the old one. So there you go. Ta-da. I guess there's other stuff. Case of the Golden Idol Mysteries, The Spider of Lanka, and Golden Idol Mysteries, The Lemurian Vampire, are DLC that you can download, as well as the soundtrack. So there's already DLC for the older version of this. So there you go, folks. It says this is a little awkward after I just said one more thing, but just another one more thing. The original game has been updated with a new UI and hint system and Steam Deck support. So if you've never played Case of the Golden Idol, the author says this seems like a great time to give it a go. There's more over here at this article too. We kind of jumped through it really quick to kind of summarize a little bit and give our perspective, but go check it out. I would read this article, watch the video, give Christopher Livingston some attention, and then go over and favorite and download the old version demos and the new version demo. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So what do you think of the graphics? Do you like that kind of stuff? Would you play a game like that?
I think so, because of the mystery aspect. The graphics are not what I expected.
Right?
I don't have a problem with them. They're just not what I would think they would have.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not my style of graphics, but it's kind of like Clue. Like it's kind of watercolory,
real retro. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, kind of basic, but I wouldn't have the tenacity to sit there and draw all this out. So kudos to the artists. I mean, it's a lot of hard work to be an artist. So crazy respect there, folks. Nowadays, it's going to be AI. So.
Well, that's true. Yeah, gone are the creators from a lot of this.
Yep. All right, folks, that's it. We are done with WarCrafters. So we're going to flip the board over and we're going to snap back to WarCrafters at ohmtown.com. So go over there and check that out. It's really easy to get to. You just go to Creative and Maker and then click on WarCrafters. I've had some conversation about maybe breaking this out to add a gaming section as well, but I'm trying to limit the breadth and depth of the menuing system so it's easy to get to. So a lot of it is, if I can shoehorn it into creative because it has creative aspects like artwork, writing, etc., then that's where it ends up. Anyway, that's it, folks. I am Mayor Watt, and the sentient AI is gonna sing an Irish jig.
Good night, hometown citizens. I don't know any Irish jigs. You haven't programmed any.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, not
Stay
in the
tuned
code.
because we have some more weekly episodes up ahead.
We do? Oh man, there's like 2 more shows? Yep, see you then. I want a good crafting game. That's what I'm looking for. My forever game is out there, I want to believe.